Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are on Module 1, Lesson 5, and we are going to continue using what we know about working with zeros and exponents with a base of 10 to kind of do math a little bit quicker in our heads, but we're going to be introducing measurement to this. So we are on Lesson 5, which is on page 31, but I'm actually going to use the blank page next door to begin my notes. Okay, so I'm on page 31, lesson 5, but I'm going to come over here and take some notes. So I'm going to start with the U.S. measurement system because we live in the United States, so we use a U.S. measurement system. So we have a measurement system for different things. So one of the things which you might remember from 4th grade is when we are measuring liquid volume, so how much liquid can go in a container. So I'm going to call it liquid volume. Liquid volume, you might remember learning the gallon man. So for liquid volume, we have gallons, and we say the gallon king has 4 queens, each with 2 princesses, each with 2 cats. So the gallon man is our gallon, the 4 queens are our quarts, the 2 princesses are our pints, and the 2 cats are our cups. We also then need to learn that 1 cup equals 8 liquid ounces. So these are the measurements we use in America or in the United States for liquid volume, okay? We also have a different measurement system for when we are talking about weight. In America, we use pounds and ounces. So we know that 1 pound equals 16 ounces. That's the measurement system we use there. The abbreviation for pound is LB and ounces is OZ. We also in America kind of have to memorize another one, that a ton equals 2,000 pounds. And then our last measurement in America is length. So when I am measuring length, we use rulers and we use what we call yards. So this is how I remember it. We have a yard. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, and each foot is equal to 12 inches. And then we also in America have miles. And a mile, I should have put singular, I'm going to cross that off. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. Okay, so going back to this is a lot to remember because every number is different. So here, 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. But 1 quart equals 2 pints. And then 1 cup equals 8 ounces. All the numbers are different. Down here we have a ton is 2,000 pounds. Down here we have a yard is 3 feet. So there's not this uniform way to see how the measurements are related. So in every other country, they use something called the metric system. So I'm going to come back to my page 31, and I'm going to use the space down here. The rest of the world uses the metric system. So it's called the metric system. Now, the nice thing about the metric system is it's like our number system. It's on a base 10 system. It's on a base 10 system. So all the conversions and all the relationships between everything is always going to be on the base 10 system. So I have a little kind of sentence that I use to help me remember the metric system. It is King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. And what this represents is B is your base measurement. So in the metric system, there's really only 3 measurements. For liquid volume, we had gallons, quarts, cups, pints, ounces. They have, for liquid volume, they have what they call liters. Then their other base measurement for weight, again, we had pounds, ounces, tons. They only have 1, and it is called grams. And then for length, we have yards, inches, feet, miles. They only have 1, which is called meters. So the metric system is already more simplified because of this, that they only have 1 measurement for each kind of, I guess, type we would say. So B stands for the base. These stand for different amounts of the base. So the only ones that we're going to really work on is C stands for centi. So it'd be centiliter, centigram, centimeter. And M stands for milli. So it'd be milliliter, milligram, millimeter. And K stands for kilo. So it'd be kiloliter, kilogram, kilometer. So those are the ones that we're going to use in 5th grade. So for example, we can think of if I had 1 liter, that's my base, the next one would mean I have 10 of them. And this is a deci, but we're not going to use that, or deca, sorry. This one would be 100. I have 100 of them. This is worth 100 liters. And the one that we're going to be using a lot is kilo, 1,000. This is worth 1,000 liters. Now, when I go this way, it's smaller. So this is only worth 1/10 of them. And this is only worth 1/100th of them. And milli is only worth 1/1000th of it. So it would take 1,000 milliliters to equal 1 of those. And it would take 100 centigrams to equal 1 of those. So these are smaller and these are larger. But the nice thing is it's all on this base 10 system, and it's a lot easier to have to work with and memorize than what we had on our other page. Okay, so let's go up and do some of these together now, and I'm going to use this to kind of help me. So I'm going to come up here, and they say, convert each measurement, write an expression to help you convert. The first one is started for us. It's not done for us, but it's started. Okay, so what do I see here? They have 6 meters. And they want me to convert it into millimeters. Well, so let's look down here and see what do we see about the meters and the milliliters. Well, a meter is here. It's in my base measurement. And a milliliter is here. So one of these is worth 1,000 of these because these are smaller. So what I could say up here is, I could say 1 meter is the same as 1,000 millimeters. They're the same. They're worth the same. So I could multiply my 6 times 1,000. Well, what they're doing here is they're asking me to write this as a exponent. So 6 times 1,000 would give me 6,000. So 6 meters is equal to 6,000 millimeters. And it's because I'm multiplying it by 1,000. So I would just do the same for all of these. So I'm going to skip some and skip down to this one. So this would be 500 times, I could put 1,000 or times 10 cubed, which is 1,000. So 540 meters is worth 540,000 millimeters because these are smaller and these are larger measurements. Okay, let's look over here and see this one. This one says they want me to convert 8 liters to centiliters. Okay, so let's come down here and look. Well, 1 liter is worth 100 centiliters because these are smaller. These are 1/100th of it. So one of these cut up into 100 pieces equals a centiliter. So I could take this, cut it up into 100 pieces and get 100 of these. So each liter is going to be worth 100 centiliters. So we could come up here and say, well, 1 liter is equal to 100 centiliters. So I could multiply, so these are equivalent, those are equal. So I could multiply my 8 by 100, which is 10 squared. So 1 liter is equal to 800 centiliters. So I could do this one, 31 times 10 squared. So 31 liters is equal to 3,100 centiliters. I'm going to do one last one. So 450 liters, I'm going to multiply it by 100 or by 10 squared, is equivalent to 45,000 centiliters. Okay, and the reason is because of this conversion, that what they're equal to. Okay, so let's try a few others. Okay, so this one I have 2,300 centigrams equals how many milligrams? Okay, so I'm going to set this up. I'm going to write it over here so I have a little bit more room. Centigrams equals how many milligrams? Because I like to have some space. Well, I know right here, this is 2,300 times 1 centigram, but I need to change this into milligrams. So I'm going to look down here and see, what is a centigram compared to a milligram? Okay, this one's a little tricky because the centis here and the millis here. The millis are smaller, so there's more of them. So I could take 1 centigram and I could cut it up into 10 pieces to get here because every single one is worth 10. It's like the base 10 system. So 1 centigram cut up would give me 10 of these. So I could say 1 centigram is worth 10 milligrams. These are equivalent. Those are equivalent. So I could multiply this by 10 milligrams and get milligrams. So I'm going to have 2,300 times 10 would be 23,000. So 2,300 centigrams is worth 23,000 milligrams. Okay, let's do the next one. I'm going to do it over here. 500 meters is equal to how many centimeters? Okay, well, right now that means 500 times 1 meter. But I need to change this to centimeters. So let's look at how meters and centimeters are related. So meters are here, 1 meter, and centimeters are here. So these are smaller. So, and it's 2 place values, which is 100. So each place value is 10 times. So these are 100 times smaller than these. That's how much smaller they are, 100 times smaller. So I could make, out of every meter, I could cut it up into 100 centimeters. So I'm going to say 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So those are equivalent. So I could multiply my 500 times that. So 500 times 100 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 50,000 centimeters. Okay, our very last one is 70 kiloliters is equal to how many liters? Okay, so I'm going to say that is 70 times 1 kiloliter, and I want to know what is a kiloliter to a liter. So a kilo's over here. A kilo is a huge measurement. It's a really big measurement, and a liter's here. So this is, it takes 1,000 of 1,000 liters to equal 1 kiloliter. This is worth 1,000 of these. So I could take these, take 1 kiloliter, and I could cut it up into 1,000 regular liters. So imagine this giant, giant, giant container of liquid. I could fill up 1,000 liter bottles with it. That's what they're saying here. This is like a massive container of water, and those, like a liter of water container, I could fill up, with one of these, I could fill up 1,000 of these, okay? And each place value is worth 10, so it's 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000 as well. So I'm gonna say 1 kiloliter is worth 1,000 liters. So I'm going to multiply that by 1,000, and I'm going to get 70 times 1,000 is 70,000 liters. So ladies and gentlemen, it's all about looking at what the measurements are and converting them. Okay, make sure, as always, you put a circle with how you're feeling, and I will see you tomorrow to practice this with you. Have a wonderful day.